Hello students, in today's class we are going to learn conditions for the combination of atomic orbitals, right? The first condition, the combining atomic orbitals must have same or nearly the same energy. I hope you are getting this. Okay, it means that atomic orbitals of nearly same energy or that of same energy are allowed for combining. This means that one s orbital can combine with another 1s orbital, okay, because both are having same energy. So if at all, if this 1s orbital and if it is another s orbital is there, so they can be involved in combining to form molecular orbitals. Okay, so this is what are the combining, and we can say, just say that what overlapping has been possible, but not with the 2s orbital. Okay, because the energy of a 2s orbital is appreciably higher than that of what a 1s orbital, because here principal quantum number n is equal to 2 and here the principal quantum number n is equal to what, 1, right? So this is not true if the atoms are very different. Is it clear, students? Now we'll go to the next slide. The second postulate, that is, the combining atomic orbitals must have same symmetry about the molecular axis. Symmetry, okay, very important point it is. Okay, now if I take a p orbitals, there are three: px, py and pz. By convention, z axis is taken as molecular axis. Z axis is taken as molecular axis, right? And it is important to note that the atomic orbitals having same or nearly same energy will not combine if they do not have same symmetry. If they do not have what a same symmetry. Earlier we have told that they should have been having same energy, but apart from that, even if they are having same energy, if they do not have same symmetry, then also overlapping will not be what possible. For example, 2pz orbital of one atom can combine with the 2pz orbital of another atom. If at all, if I take fluorine molecule, fluorine electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2 and what, 2p5, outermost electrons are what, 7 electrons, and in order to become octet, one of the fluorine molecule will be donating 1 electron, another fluorine atom will be donating 1 electron. They results in the formation of what, a sigma bond. But this fluorine atom, whatever it is giving, so one of the pz orbital having 1 electron will be overlapping with another pz orbital of another fluorine atom. Okay, this is a sigma bond. And which are these two orbitals? These two orbitals are what, 2pz orbital. This also is 2pz orbital, right? 2pz orbital. They are having the same symmetry. Okay, they are having what, a same symmetry, and energy is also what, a same, right? But see the next point here, I just want to highlight it by another color, but not with 2px or 2py orbitals. Okay, it means that the 2pz orbital will not overlap. Okay, will not overlap with that of what, 2px or that of water 2py. Of course their energy is the same, but their symmetry is different. Okay, because z is taken as intermolecular axis, but whereas the 2px and 2py are involved in what, overlapping, and that too what, sideways overlapping, or we can call it as lateral overlapping. 2px and 2py involve in the formation of a pi bond, right? But 2pz will be always overlapping with the 2pz, resulting in the formation of sigma bond. Concept is clear, students? Okay, fine. The combining atomic orbitals must overlap to the maximum extent. Okay, this we already learnt in the previous videos also. Greater the overlapping, greater is the bond formation, or we can say stronger is the bond, right? So greater the extent of overlap, greater will be the electron density between the nuclei of molecular orbital. Between the nuclei of what, molecular orbital. Fine. Now let us move to the next slide. In the next slide we are having here Energy level diagram for molecular orbitals. See students, this is very easiest thing that we are learning in what chemical bonding. If you look for diagrams and all, it might be feeling bit difficult, but if you pay attention, listen carefully, read, write and practice once, it will be what the most easiest thing, right? Now let us conclude this now. Energy level diagram for molecular orbitals. Okay, now you see here, this is energy level. Okay, so on y-axis you can see that this is the energy level. Okay, it is going on like this. Fine. Now to make you understand, I just want to say that we are speaking of what molecules. Okay, molecular orbital. Okay, now in this diagram you see here at this part here. Okay, so here one hydrogen atom, this is another hydrogen atom. One hydrogen atom is having 1s orbital in which there is only one electron. Similarly, this is another hydrogen atom in which 1s orbital is mentioned here, and it also has one electron, right? So this 1s, I will change the color here, so that now this 1s and this 1s electron will be forming sigma bonding. Okay, will be forming what a sigma bonding. Okay, here they mentioned star. Okay, it has to be deleted. Okay, this is called as what a sigma 1s2. It is called as sigma 1s2. Okay, and here there is nothing here. Okay, but this bonding is electrons are not there, but that position is called as sigma star 1s2. Concept is clear, students? So in the formation of hydrogen molecule, this happens. It means that on one side one hydrogen atom is there, on another side another hydrogen atom is there. Okay, and whenever we write electronic configuration, we write like this: 1s2, then followed by 2s2, then followed by 2p1, right? First let me write with respect to here 1s1. Okay, if it is 1s1, then it is of what, hydrogen. If I write it as 1s2, then it is of what, helium. Okay, and if I write it as 1s2, then followed by what, 2s1, that is of what, lithium. And if I write it as 1s2, then followed by 2s2, that is of beryllium. And if I write it as 1s2, then 2s2, then 2p1, then that is what, boron. Similarly 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2, that is carbon. Next 1s2, 2s2 and 2p3, that is what, nitrogen. Concepts are clear, students? Now see, now I have just completed for hydrogen. Okay, hydrogen molecule that has been what, formed here. Now next comes 1s2. If it is 1s2 means then the second electron, I will change the color here so that you will be able to understand now, right? So 1s2, so here another electron is there. Now in case of what, the 1s2 orbital on one side here. Okay, let it be like, I'll erase this. Okay, so that it becomes much more clearer. Fine. Okay, then now here I will speak with respect to as now helium. Okay, I'll write it as what, helium, He. How many electrons will be there? 2 will be there, so I can write here 1s2. So here it can be again 2 electrons, so this could be written as what, 1s2. Now here also 2 electron, here also 2 electron. Now 2 electrons will be formed in what, bonding molecular orbital. So this becomes sigma 1s2, and here I have to write what, 2 electrons. Okay, this becomes sigma star 1s2. Is it clear now? So 2 are involved in bonding molecular orbital and 2 are involved in anti-bonding molecular orbital. Is it clear, students? So well, we are going to learn all these molecules. Okay, so in the first we have learnt hydrogen molecule just now, and the second we have learnt helium molecule. Now if it is like just like 1s2, 2s1, if it is lithium Li, okay, if it is lithium Li, then the one next electron will go into 2s. Okay, this is on one lithium atom, another lithium atom will be here, so here another electron will be there. Now this and this 2 electrons will be forming a bond here. Okay, that is called as what, a bonding molecular orbital, and that becomes a sigma 2s. What about this now? This will be what, sigma star 2s. Concepts are clear, students? In a detail we are going to learn individual molecules, how and all, in the next slides. Okay, now just we have to erase all this, so that I have to conclude the explanation part which has been explained here, right? Now we have seen that 1s atomic orbitals on two atoms form a two molecular orbital. See, now this is 1s okay, on two atoms. So this is 1s on two atoms. When two 1s atoms, atomic orbitals on two atoms, they form two molecular. Which are those two molecular? One is bonding molecular orbital, another one is anti-bonding molecular orbital, right? In a same manner, the 2s and 2p atomic orbitals. Now this is a 2s and this is a 2p. Similarly, here we are having 2s and here this is what a 2p. Okay, they are giving rise to 8 atomic orbitals on two atoms. So this was from one atom. Okay, this whole was from one atom here, and this whole was from another atom. Now 8 atomic orbitals, which are those? So I'll just change the color here so that it becomes what easier for you to follow. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and here last one more is there, that is what 8 over. So 2s and 2p atomic orbitals, if at all, if they're involved in what molecular orbitals, then we will get 8 atomic orbitals on two atoms, and this we have what seen here. Is it clear, students? We'll go in detail, okay, regarding about molecular orbitals now. Next one is types of molecular orbitals. Now here you can see types of molecular orbitals. Molecular orbitals of diatomic molecules are. Now see, there are many molecules, okay, polyatomic molecules, but for our syllabus it has been mentioned with respect to diatomic molecules. Diatomic molecules in which only what two atoms are there, okay, and their orbitals, whenever, if at all, if they are formed, then these are designated as a sigma or pi and that of what a delta. But in fact we are concentrating more on what a sigma and that of what a pi bonding, right? Now sigma molecular orbitals are symmetrical around the bond axis. Sigma molecular orbital are symmetrical around the bond axis, but whereas pi molecular orbitals are not symmetrical, right? Now for example, the linear combination of 1s orbitals centered on two nuclei produces two molecular orbitals, which are symmetrical around the bond axis, okay. Now see there, such molecular orbitals are of a sigma type because a sigma bond is involved and are designated as sigma 1s and sigma star 1s, okay. Figure number 4.20a, page number is 124 in NCERT textbook, okay, and that A is here. You can see the energy is here. So this is a 1s orbital of atom hydrogen, and this is another 1s orbital of atom hydrogen. Which orbitals these are? Atomic orbitals these are. And when they are involved in molecular orbitals, we will get here bonding molecular orbital, okay, bonding molecular orbital, which is written as sigma 1s, but in that two electrons are there, and these two electrons we are going to write here like this, okay, because from this one came here and from this another one came here. What about this? Now there is nothing over there, orbital is there, but in that no electrons are there. So this is a sigma star 1s, that is anti-bonding molecular orbital, okay. So therefore if you see bonding and anti-bonding, okay, here it has been represented. Now this is 1s plus another 1s, okay, and it is forming what sigma 1s, means what it is having what positive formation. That is, I have told you now with respect to that electronic wave function, okay, if I take this wave of 1 psi of what one hydrogen atom, and if psi of another hydrogen atom. If both are in the constructive interference, then what it happens, bonding molecular orbital happens. But if at all on the same side, if destructive interference happens, then it becomes what, anti-bonding molecular orbital. So here we are speaking with respect to bonding molecular orbital, which is that, let me explain. This part is called as bonding molecular orbital, and more precisely it is a sigma. Here it is more precisely what, a sigma. Okay, for that is the reason. How can we identify which is bonding and which is anti-bonding means? Just concentrate on what this sign here. Okay, what is the sign here? Plus. Whenever if plus symbol is there between two orbitals, it denotes that it is a constructive interference. Constructive interference leads to the formation of a bonding molecular orbital. And if at all, if there is a minus sign between two atomic orbitals, now see here 1s and 1s, but here it is what, minus. It means that it is a destructive interference. A subtraction is taking place, during which we can get anti-bonding sigma molecular orbitals. Anti-bonding sigma molecular orbitals. Okay, and that is the representation here for anti-bonding sigma molecular orbitals. Okay, this part in NCERT textbook it has been given, but we do not include in our explanation for most of the time. Okay, diagram is very important for us. This part is what, very important for us. Is it clear, students? Now we'll go to the next part. Now next part, that is what here. Okay, so this 124, that was NCERT page. If the internuclear axis is taken to be in the Z direction, okay, if they are saying, but actually most of the time we take what internuclear axis as in the Z direction only, that is what, a 2pz. Okay, it can be seen that a linear combination of 2pz orbitals of two atoms also produces what, 2 sigma molecular orbitals. Okay, designated as what, 2pz and what, 2 what is this? Okay, so sorry, sigma 2pz and sigma star 2pz. Okay, in figure number 4.20b. so this is the figure number 4.20b. here we are having the energy here, right? And this is a 2pz orbital, atomic orbital. It is similarly here also we are having 2pz atomic orbital, right? So in this there are one electron. You can see here, this is what, one electron, and this is another electron in what, a downward spin. This is in upward spin. Okay, and here we are having what, are the two electrons. Okay, which is this bonding molecular orbital. What is the name of that? We can say it as a sigma 2pz, right? And here this is anti-bonding molecular orbital, which is that this is called as anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, nothing is there. Why? Because we were having only two electrons in case of what, 2pz atomic orbital. Okay, so it will be empty, but that molecular orbital will be formed, which is that sigma star. Okay, sigma star 2pz. Is it clear, students? So here you can see that 2pz and 2pz along what, internuclear axis or in Z direction, what is happening, constructive interference is happening. Okay, and due to which we will get what, bonding sigma molecular orbital 2pz, bonding molecular orbital sigma 2pz. If at all, if we are having destructive interference, then we will get anti-bonding sigma molecular orbital. Concept is clear, students? Fine. Okay, now we'll move to the next part. Molecular orbitals from 2px and 2py orbitals are not symmetrical around the bond axis. Okay, so far we have learned with respect to s orbital, atomic orbital s orbital, and that of what, 2pz, okay, which are what, symmetrical around the bond axis. But 2px and 2py are not symmetrical around the bond axis because the presence of positive lobes above and negative lobe below. Now see, if they say that in this manner, positive lobe above and negative lobe below, and if this was 2px, and if I say another one with respect to what 2py, positive lobe above and negative lobe below, if at all if they overlap, lateral overlap is forming, because we should understand that this results in the formation of a pi bond. Whenever pi bonds are formed, lateral overlapping is formed, and for that is the reason we say that the 2px orbital and 2py orbitals are not symmetrical around the bond axis. Concept is clear, students? So therefore such molecular orbitals are labeled as pi and pi star, okay, in figure number 4.20c, okay, that we are having here. Now a pi bonding molecular orbital has larger electron density above. A pi bonding molecular orbital has larger electron density above, and if you see here, that is above here, okay, that is with respect to positive, okay, and below the internuclear axis, and below it means what, electron density is what we can say less below the water internuclear axis, okay. If this is the internuclear axis, here we are having what, the negative, that is phase, right? The pi star anti-bonding molecular orbital has a node, okay. I brought this word in the previous video, where we said that there is a nodal plane if at all if there are anti-bonding molecular orbitals, and particularly when there is what, the pi bond formation, okay. So molecular orbital is having a node between the nuclei. I'll bring out this node, okay. If at all if you see, I will just want to connect this, so this is called as what, the node here, okay. So this is called as a node where the electron density is completely what, 0, we can say. Fine. Now let us come to this diagram here. So energy level on y-axis in vertical manner, right? So this is a 2px orbital, which is that atomic orbital. So here also we are having 2px atomic orbital, and when they are forming a bond, which is that bonding molecular orbital, the electron from this and the electron from this both are involved in this what, bonding molecular orbital. So that becomes what, pi 2px, okay. Earlier it was a sigma, but now it is forming what, pi 2px. And what about this now? This forms what, pi star 2px molecular orbital, that is anti-bonding molecular orbital, okay. Here there are 2 electrons because it is involved, because we were having only 2 electrons. Here molecular orbital is formed, but there are no electrons in it, right? Now let us come back to this word diagram here, okay. Now can you see this part? Now this part is nothing but called as bonding molecular orbital, okay. Which is that bonding here? Pi bonding molecular orbital, okay, because we are having here 2px orbital with positive lobe above, another 2px orbital with a positive lobe above, and it is dealt with what, constructive interference, and as a result of which we can say that the positive lobe is present above and a negative lobe is present below, okay. And here there is nuclei, these are the 2 nuclei. Can you see here? This is one and this is what, another, right? But if at all if it is a destructive interference, it leads to the formation of a anti-bonding pi molecular orbital, okay. And you can see that in case of anti-bonding molecular orbital, already we know that bonding molecular orbitals are what, stable, but anti-bonding molecular orbitals are what, unstable, because there is a destructive interference. And at the same time, if at all if it is forming a pi bond, there is a nodal plane. This is called as what, a nodal plane, okay. Or here we can say that a node is present, we can say, where the electron density is what, very poor. Can you see this part here? There is nothing here between these 2 nuclei. I have to what, clear it, and I have to write it once again so that it becomes easier for you people, right? So I'll take this, okay. Now can you see this part here? This is called as what, a node. That empty space is called as a node, and that line passing is called as what, a nodal plane, where the electron density is what, very less. Is it clear, students, now? So this is all with respect to what, the pi bonding. Okay, the next slide is a very important slide, students. We have to concentrate more on that, but it is very easy. Now here is the electronic configuration, okay, not the general electronic configuration. We just write it as like 1s2, 2s2, or what that of 2p6 and all, right? So this is in terms of what bonding molecular orbitals, right? Now this part, okay, I'm going to encircle here, so that where it has to be I will tell you. See, now here I have written what is the energy level diagram, okay. Now this part should be here, okay. Why? Because space is less, so I have written there, okay, fine. Now the energy level diagram, if at all if I write here, that portion was here, okay. Now this portion, whatever I'm speaking now, okay, I'll draw this this portion here. I'm going to explain this part now, okay. The remaining part, this, okay, I'll consider it later, okay, fine. Now whatever I have written here star mark, okay, it is coming with respect to energy level diagram, this also, okay. Now see, if I write here 1 electron and here 1 electron, now it will be what, 2 electrons present here, okay. This 1s means what, I'm speaking with respect to what, a hydrogen molecule, right? If there are 2 electrons here also and 2 electrons here, 2 are present here and 2 are present here, that is with respect to what, a lithium molecule, okay. And if I, sorry, helium helium molecule. If I go with respect to Li molecule, lithium molecule, electronic configuration, that is 1s2, 2s2, 1s2 and what, 2s1. So 3 electrons are, this was 1s and even this was 1s. Now next one was 2s, so that 2s is here. Now concept is clear, students? So 1s was here and 2s is here. This is from one lithium atom. Similarly, from another lithium atom will be here, that is 1s2, okay, and here it becomes 2s1. So this also 2s1 and this also was 1s2, right? Concepts are clear, students? I hope you are following this, okay. So like that only, after lithium molecule formation, if I go with beryllium, then this 2s will be here, what, 2 electrons. So in case of here also what, 2s electron, because beryllium electronic configuration 1s2 and 2s2, because z is equal to what, 4f for that atomic number. But I am speaking with respect to beryllium molecule, so on this side there would be 4 electrons and on this side there would be what, 4 electrons, okay. After that, if I speak with the boron, okay, let me erase this, okay. After that, if I speak with the boron, then the molecular orbital diagrams will be what, having some changes, okay, that we have to what, concentrate here, fine. Now after that, after what, beryllium, after that beryllium, we have to deal with boron molecule, then it comes carbon molecule, then it comes nitrogen molecule, right? Now I say that for nitrogen molecule to be formed, the total number of electrons will be what, 14 electrons, because 1 nitrogen 7 electrons, 2 nitrogen 14 electrons. So up to 14 electrons, remember, up to 14 electrons. Can you see that here pi orbitals are there, up to 14, and below 14 this pi 2px, and here there is another orbital pi 2py. These are those, okay. These are having a lower energy, these are having what, a lower energy, remember that, okay. Now for that is the reason for this diagrammatic molecular orbital diagrammatic representation, which is that I'll draw it once again with black color. Can you see now this part? We are having the electronic configuration like this, okay. First comes 1s2, then comes sigma star 1s2, then comes sigma 2s2, then comes sigma star 2s2. After that pi 2px and pi 2py, that is here pi 2px and pi 2py. Then comes sigma 2pz, that is sigma 2pz is here. Then we are having what, a pi star 2px equal to pi star 2py. It means energy of pi star 2px is equal to pi star 2py, that is here, right? And the last comes what, sigma star 2pz, that is present here. Is it clear, students? Now what is the difference with respect to another energy level diagram that I'm concentrating here? Can you see now here what is the major difference? You can see that I will just erase the part that has been what written here. Okay, fine. Now I want to say that in the case of the number of electrons, after 14 electrons, if at all, if it is a 15 or 16, okay, for example, if I take oxygen molecule O2, one oxygen atom is having 8 electrons, and it is oxygen molecule, means total number of electrons will be what, 16, right? So after 14 onwards, if you see the electronic configuration for molecular orbitals, it will be what, a different. What is that the difference? Can you see now? So here it is 1s2, then we are having here sigma star 1s2, then comes sigma 2s2, then comes sigma star 2s2, then after that there is a difference. Can you see here? So here it is sigma 2pz, but in the above, can you see now here, after sigma star 2s2, okay, after sigma star 2s2, here we had pi 2px equal to pi 2py, right? But here after sigma star 2s2 we are having what, sigma 2pz. That is the difference. Okay, now you concentrate on this diagram here. Here I told you that it is pi, but here can you see now, here it is sigma, which is that sigma 2pz. Then comes what, this pi, which is that pi 2px and pi 2py, right? Then comes pi star 2px equal to pi star 2py, that is here now, okay, pi star. And last we are having what, sigma star 2pz, sigma star 2pz. Only thing you have to recall that for molecular orbitals up to 14 electrons, okay, up to 14 electrons, pi 2px and pi 2py will be having lower energy. For that is the reason we have written here lower. Okay, for molecular orbitals having electrons greater than 14, then sigma 2pz will be having lower energy, and that is the reason here we have written here. Concept is clear, students? Okay. Now let us move with respect to electronic configuration and molecular behavior, right? Very simple it is. And one more, students, the moment when you come with respect to molecular orbital diagrams of particular molecules, at that time you'll get a clear concept. Okay, until then you just concentrate on what it has been explained. Now, the distribution of electrons among various molecular orbitals is called electronic configuration of the molecule. Okay, in a board examination, they will ask, write the electronic configuration of a Li molecule. They don't say. Okay, if at all, if it is clearly mentioned like 2 means, you should think that it is what, a lithium molecule. At that time you don't write just like 1s2 then followed by what, 2s1. That is not the electronic configuration. We are speaking with molecule, then you should write what with respect to sigma 1s2, then comes what, sigma star 1s2, then comes sigma 2s2. Is it clear? Why? Because the lithium atomic number is 3, total number of electrons will be 6, so this is 2, this is 2, and this is 2. Concept is clear, students? Okay, fine. Now from the electronic configuration of the molecules, it is possible to get important information about the molecule as discussed below, which is that electronic configuration. This was the electronic configuration. Okay, from this we can predict stability of the molecules. First point you can see over there, NB. What is this meaning of NB? N is nothing but number, and that B is nothing but what, a bonding molecular orbital. Okay, it means if NB is the number of electrons occupying bonding molecular orbitals, and Na is the number occupying of the anti-bonding orbitals. Okay, I have told you in the previous diagram, if the diagram was like this with respect to what, the energy level diagram. Okay, let me take it as a simple one. That was for hydrogen. Okay, then this was the diagram. Here it was 1s, here also it was 1s, one electron was present here and one electron was present here, so those are involved in what, a bonding molecular orbital BMO, and this bonding molecular orbital, now they call it as what, NB, and here this is called as what, anti-bonding molecular orbital, that is called as Na, right? Now the molecule is stable if Nb is greater. It means what? The number of electrons in bonding molecular orbitals are more than molecule is stable than that of what? Ena. Concept is clear. So it means that number of electrons should be more in bonding molecular orbitals, right? Next one is the molecule is unstable if Nb is less than that of Na. It means that if the number of electrons in anti-bonding molecular orbitals are more, then the molecule is what? Unstable. I repeat it once again. The molecule is unstable if Nb is less than that of what? Na. Right? Next point is in 1. What is this one? It is with respect to this point. Okay, more bonding molecular orbitals are occupied, and so the bonding influence is stronger. If the molecule is stable, it reveals that more bonding orbitals are occupied, and so bonding influences is stronger, and a stable molecule what results. Similarly, the anti-bonding influence is stronger, then therefore the molecule is what? Unstable. Therefore the molecule is what? Unstable. Fine. Then next concept with respect to that electronic configuration is that bond order. Okay, this is very important. They will ask 1 mark or 2 marks question. Define bond order, and you write the mathematical relation for bond order. Bond order is defined as 1/2 or simply half of the difference between the number of electrons present in the bonding molecular orbital and that of anti-bonding molecular orbital. So bond order BO, okay, it has been given as here. Bond order BO is equal to 1/2. Okay, 1/2 of what? Number of electrons present in bonding molecular orbital minus n of A, that is anti-bonding molecular orbital. 1 mark for this and 1 mark for this. Total will be of what? 2 marks. Very important question it is, right? Fine. The rules discussed so far or above regarding the stability of the molecule can be restated in terms of bond order as follows. Okay, so far we have studied the rules regarding about stability of the molecule, and the same can be explained in terms of what? The bond order. Okay, now a positive bond order means Nb is greater than that of Na. It means that the molecule is what? Stable. Okay, while a negative means the anti-bonding molecular orbital, the electrons present in anti-bonding molecular orbitals are more, then we can say that the molecule is what? Unstable, right? Or if it is a 0, when it can be, it is 0, bonding molecular orbitals or the electrons present in bonding molecular orbital is equal to that of anti-bonding molecular orbital, then it means that the molecule is unstable or it does not exist also. Okay, with typical examples we can come to the conclusion. Let us have the glance over that. Fine. Now next comes is with respect to what? The nature of the bond. Okay, the nature of the bond. Okay, integral bond order values like 1, 2, 3. Okay, when we calculate, that is what? The bond order is equal to 1/2 into what? N of A minus of N of B. Okay, if at all bond order comes out to be 1 or 2 or that of 3, corresponding to, it corresponds to what? Single, double or triple bonds respectively. It means if we get bond order 1 means it is of single, if we get bond order of 2 means it is double bond, if we get bond order of 3 means it is what? Triple bonds, as studied in the classical concept. Okay, we have studied earlier in the atomic structure, bond formation and all. Next one is with respect to bond length. The bond order between two atoms in a molecule may be taken as an approximate measure of what? Bond length. Okay, we should remember that bond length is inversely proportional to what? Bond strength. Okay, larger the bond length, lesser will be the what? Bond strength. So therefore even we can say one more point, that is the bond length decreases as bond order increases. Now again, what is that? Bond length with respect to what? Bond order, right? So bond length decreases. So bond length decreases with increase in bond order. So this is what? Bond order. It means that bond length is inversely proportional to bond strength and that of what? Bond order, right? Next part and the last part probably of this video, that is magnetic nature. If all the molecular orbitals in a molecule are doubly occupied, okay, it means what? It is paired, then this substance is called as diamagnetic. Can you see this diamagnetic word I have written in this diagram here? Diamagnetic. It means the molecular orbital, this molecular orbital is doubly occupied. It means it is paired. Now if it is a diamagnetic, then it is repelled by magnetic field. It means that if you keep this molecule, which is that molecule, hydrogen molecule, in an external magnetic field, okay, so this is external magnetic field here, and here also external magnetic field, and if I keep this hydrogen molecule, okay, then this hydrogen molecule will be repelled by this, okay. From here I will say that it is what, repelled, okay. This hydrogen molecule is repelled from this magnetic field, okay. This is magnetic field and this is magnetic field, and if I keep hydrogen molecule between this, then it is repelled by the water magnetic field. However, if one or more molecular orbitals are singly occupied, if it is singly occupied means then the molecule is called as what, paramagnetic. Under that condition, the substance under investigation kept in magnetic field, it will be attracted either towards this side or towards this side. Those types of substances are called as paramagnetic substances, okay. So I just want to say that if the molecular orbitals are paired, then the substance is diamagnetic, repelled by magnetic field, and if the substances are having unpaired electrons, then the substances are attracted by the external magnetic field, and the substances are called as paramagnetic substances. Fine. And now I have to conclude this the formation of what, hydrogen molecule, right? So let us finish it off so that it becomes easier for us to move with the next part, right? So just want to concentrate on this now. See, now electronic configuration of hydrogen molecule, what it is, sigma 1s2, because hydrogen molecule they are asking, right? So that is what, sigma 1s. 1 mark question may arise from this. Next one, if I say with respect to diagram, so this is one hydrogen atom, this is another hydrogen atom. So here we are having what, one electron, and here we are having another electron. In fact, this should be in opposite spin, okay. I have written in what, the upper spin, okay. It should be downwards, okay. And this one is atomic orbital of one hydrogen atom, and this is another atomic orbital of another hydrogen atom. They are involved in the formation of what, a bonding molecular orbital, okay. This is called as a sigma 1s2. Two electrons are there, okay. Now above what is formed, a molecular orbital is formed, which is that sigma star 1s, but there is nothing, so I am keeping it as it is, okay. Next one, I have to go for a bond order. Bond order is nothing but what, the one half of the difference between bonding molecular orbital and anti-bonding molecular orbital. In bonding I am having 2 electrons, so I am writing here 2, minus anti-bonding there is nothing, that is what, 0 and 2, okay. And this gives what, the bond order to be what, 1. So bond order in hydrogen molecule is 1, and since there are no unpaired electrons, all are what, doubly are present here, so therefore the molecule is what, diamagnetic in nature. Is it clear, students? Now the remaining examples we are going to learn in the incoming video. Thank you for watching.